Far out in the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, a powerful and mysterious force is stirring: El Niño. This phenomenon has intrigued scientists and affected civilizations for centuries. It begins when surface waters in the eastern tropical Pacific become unusually warm, triggering a complex chain reaction that reverberates across the globe. This warming can have profound effects on weather patterns, marine ecosystems, and even human activities. El Niño is part of a larger climate pattern known as the El Niño Southern Oscillation, or ENSO. This cycle alternates between three phases: the warm El Niño, the cool La Niña, and a neutral phase. Each phase has its own distinct impacts on global weather and climate. Under normal conditions, trade winds push warm water westward across the Pacific, allowing cold, nutrient-rich water to rise near the coast of South America. This upwelling supports a rich diversity of marine life, creating a thriving ecosystem. But during an El Niño event, these trade winds weaken or even reverse direction. This allows the warm water to spread eastward, disrupting the usual ocean currents and weather patterns. The consequences of this shift can be felt worldwide. The influx of warm water fuels the formation of powerful thunderstorms and shifts in jet streams. These changes can lead to altered rainfall and drought patterns, affecting regions far beyond the Pacific Ocean. The impacts can be both dramatic and far-reaching. The name El Niño, meaning the little boy in Spanish, was coined by Peruvian fishermen who noticed the warming waters around Christmas time. This seasonal warming often brought changes to their fishing yields and weather conditions. Despite its gentle name, El Niño's impacts are anything but mild. From severe storms to prolonged droughts, this phenomenon reminds us of the delicate balance and interconnectedness of our planet's climate systems. A change in the Pacific can ripple out to affect people everywhere, including right here in Ireland. Understanding El Niño helps us appreciate the intricate web of interactions that shape our world's climate. When El Niño awakens, its effects are felt worldwide. It brings droughts to places like Australia and southern Africa, increasing wildfire and water shortages. Meanwhile, the Americas often face torrential rains and floods, damaging homes and infrastructure. These extremes disrupt food and water supplies, driving up prices and threatening vulnerable communities. Health risks rise too, as altered weather patterns help spread diseases like malaria and dengue. Heat waves and water scarcity add to the strain, especially for the most at-risk populations. El Niño's global reach is a stark reminder: a shift in one ocean can impact millions across the planet. Imagine a region suffering drought, only to be hit by sudden, relentless rain. This is climate whiplash. The rapid swing from dry to wet leaves little time for people or nature to adapt. Drought-hardened ground can't absorb heavy rain, turning relief into disaster as floods follow. El Niño often drives these abrupt shifts, making weather more unpredictable and extreme. Communities must prepare for both drought and flood, straining resources and resilience. This new normal challenges our understanding of seasons and makes planning difficult. One year, it's drought; the next, it's flooding, leaving people in a constant state of emergency. Climate whiplash, fueled by El Niño, is becoming a defining feature of our changing world. El Niño's influence reaches Ireland, subtly shaping our weather. It can shift the Atlantic jet stream, making Irish winters milder and wetter than usual. Instead of frost and snow, we get persistent rain and above-average temperatures. While fewer icy roads might sound appealing, increased rainfall can push our weather systems to their limits. More storms, saturated ground, and swollen rivers can turn a mild winter into a challenging one. El Niño doesn't guarantee a specific outcome, but it tilts the odds toward certain conditions, like loading the dice. Our climate is complex, but understanding El Niño helps us prepare for what might come. Even distant changes in the Pacific can shape life here on the Emerald Isle. Milder, wetter winters from El Niño bring unique challenges to Ireland. Waterlogged fields delay planting and damage crops, threatening farmers' livelihoods. Flooding can disrupt transport, damage homes, and strain local budgets with costly repairs. Repeated floods weaken infrastructure, creating long-term safety concerns. Our environment suffers too. Runoff pollutes rivers, and landslides threaten hillsides. El Niño can amplify existing climate trends, turning wet winters into extreme events. These impacts force us to rethink how we manage land, build infrastructure, and protect our communities. El Niño isn't just a temporary event, It's part of a larger pattern of change. Preparing for it means adapting to a new climate reality. Ireland's El Niño challenges, flooded fields, washed-out roads, and disrupted travel, are serious, and for many here, these events feel unprecedented. But when we look beyond our borders, it becomes clear that Ireland's difficulties, while significant, are only a small part of a much larger global crisis. In developing nations, El Niño can mean the difference between life and death. For millions, it brings famine, displacement, and even conflict as communities struggle over increasingly scarce resources. Families are forced to leave their homes, sometimes with nothing but the clothes on their backs, searching for food and safety. Crop failures in Africa or Asia can devastate entire regions, leading to widespread hunger and mass migration. Unlike Ireland, where social supports exist, many affected people have no safety net to fall back on, making recovery almost impossible. Water scarcity is another harsh reality. In some places, families must walk for hours just to find water, often from unsafe sources. This not only increases the risk of disease, but also takes children away from school and parents away from work. When major crops fail, global food prices can spike dramatically. This ripple effect reaches every corner of the world, making it harder for families everywhere to put food on the table, even in wealthier countries. Ireland's strong infrastructure and emergency response systems offer a level of resilience that many countries can only dream of. Elsewhere, hospitals and shelters are quickly overwhelmed, and communities face life-threatening emergencies, with little outside help. Our experience is just one chapter in a global story of climate disruption and inequality. From floods to droughts, storms to heat waves, people everywhere are feeling the impact, though not equally. This perspective should inspire us to take action at home, by building resilience and reducing our own emissions, and to support those most vulnerable worldwide, through aid, advocacy, and solidarity. Ultimately, El Niño's burden is heaviest on those least equipped to bear it. Recognizing this, we can choose to be part of the solution, both locally and globally. El Niño was once a natural rhythm, but climate change is now amplifying its power. Warming oceans provide extra energy, making El Niño events stronger and more frequent. What was once moderate can now become extreme, with more severe droughts and floods. Climate models warn of more regular, intense ENSO cycles, turning rare shocks into the new normal. This feedback loop, where warming fuels El Niño, which then worsens climate impacts, underscores the urgency of cutting emissions. More powerful El Niño events mean greater global disruption and less time to adapt. Addressing fossil fuel use is key to breaking this cycle. Our future stability depends on taming both climate change and El Niño. In the face of El Niño, early warnings are our best defense. Scientists use ocean buoys, satellites, and models to predict El Niño months in advance. These forecasts give governments, farmers, and communities time to prepare, saving lives and livelihoods. Early warnings help farmers choose crops, cities reinforce flood defenses, and health officials prepare for disease outbreaks. Aid organizations can pre-position supplies, making disaster response faster and more effective. Investing in better forecasting and communication is crucial as El Niño events intensify. Timely, clear information empowers everyone to act before disaster strikes. Early warning systems are a cornerstone of climate resilience. El Niño's story is a call to action. Our climate is changing, and so must we. The increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events are clear indicators that we need to adapt and prepare. From devastating floods to prolonged droughts, the impacts are being felt globally, and Ireland is no exception. Building resilience means investing in flood defenses, updating building codes, and adopting smarter land management. This includes constructing robust flood barriers, reinforcing riverbanks, and ensuring that our buildings can withstand extreme weather conditions. Urban planning must also consider the risks posed by rising water levels and increased rainfall. Farmers can use techniques that improve soil health and water absorption, reducing vulnerability to both drought and flood. Practices such as crop rotation, cover cropping, and maintaining healthy soil can make a significant difference. These methods not only enhance productivity, but also build resilience against climate variability. Individuals should prepare emergency kits, know local risks, and have evacuation plans. Being prepared means having essential supplies ready, Understanding the specific risks in your area and knowing the safest routes and procedures in case of an emergency. Regularly practicing these plans can save lives. Community support, checking on neighbors, sharing information, strengthens resilience. Building a network of support within communities ensures that everyone, especially the most vulnerable, receives the help they need during extreme weather events. Community meetings and information sharing are crucial. Restoring wetlands and forests helps absorb floods and store carbon, tackling both El Niño and climate change. These natural landscapes act as buffers, reducing the impact of floods and capturing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which helps mitigate climate change. Renewable energy reduces emissions, addressing the root cause of intensifying extremes. By investing in wind, solar, and hydroelectric power, we can reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and lower greenhouse gas emissions, which are driving climate change. The steps we take now protect us from the next El Niño and build a safer, more sustainable future. By implementing these measures, we can create communities that are better equipped to handle the challenges posed by a changing climate. By acting together, we can face the challenges ahead with confidence and hope. Collective action and shared responsibility are key to building a resilient future for all.